legal stuff, but more importantly, spoiler stuff. So, don't say I didn't warn ya. Now let's review my second most anticipated MCU show. Next to Loki, that is. Just like the last review when we did WandaVision not that long ago, we're going to be reviewing this by episode without regurgitating the plot because this would take 1,000,000 hours to actually edit and release. And like the last review, I'm not going to go into the production of it because, like I said, we've been following MCU news for the past 13 years now. We kind of already know what to expect. But I do want to talk about some pre-script to that because before the show came out, there was a weird sponsorship deal with Xbox of all things. I'm not dogging Xbox, but even though I'm more of a fan of these things, I still have a soft spot for it. But I found it weird that Marvel was teaming up with the gaming console that doesn't have their best game on it. I may have never played Spider-Man PS4 or Spider-Man Miles Morales for PS5, but oh god, watching it from afar actually makes it look really, really good. There, I said. And now on to a review of Harvey Birdman, the formerly brainwashed victim. Wow, you all want to punch myself for that stupid joke. Not for nothing, but how can an episode have a fast start and a slow end? No joke, the episode starts off with this awesome action sequence, and then the rest of it was just like a nice slow burn. That's like starting off with fireworks and continuing on with sparklers. Comparing it starting off with a gigantic piece of chocolate lava cake and ending off with a super salad. That'd be one weird-ass restaurant. I did think it was weird that Sam gave up the shield that Steve gave to him, but, you know, plot development. Yeah, I mean, I cringed a little when I heard these two words.
Hail Hydra.
Bucky, buddy, I know you were brainwashed at the time, but you're saying it wrong. It's pronounced Hydra. Anyway, let me guess, you're expecting Cap to scream language at me. Here's the thing, why would he scream language at me while I'm speaking the truth? On Xander's Disney, we do not support Nazi death cults, so for that I say Hydra. But of course I could not talk about this idiot. John Walker as Captain America is literally the equivalent of that weak guy at home meme. You know, this one. Also, because I'm really gonna have fun talking crap about John Walker, I should probably mention he kinda looks like Carl Fredricksen from Up if people were wearing the Captain America mask. I am so glad I'm not the only one who thought this. Good job, Internet. You did my work for me. I mean, I probably have way too high of expectations for this episode, but it was still a good one. I know most first episodes of any show tends to be a slow burn, but wow, this was a really slow burn. But at least we got our first taste of the Flag Smashers, aka the group who thought the world was better during the blip. I'm already gonna say this right now, I fear people are gonna be like that, but with the pandemic, which I hope not, because coming from someone who's still filming at like the tail end of the pandemic, I don't know if May 2021 counts as the tail end of the pandemic, but with the fact that a lot of people are getting vaccinated, I would say it's the tail end of the pandemic, so I'm just going to say this right now. Life is not better during a pandemic. It's hell. We're stuck in our houses. We can't go to the movies. We have to wear a mask. Let's go over our face every time we go someplace. It's not fun. Trust me. To the kids of the future who are watching this and have no idea what the hell happened between 2020 and whenever the hell the pandemic ended, it's not fun. It's hell. But all in all, it was a good episode. I give it a 7.5 out of 10. Okay, first off,
Good morning, America.
nothing beats the good old-fashioned Disney synergy machine. This was another good episode. It had some really good action scenes, and it did introduce us to Battlestar, even though they barely introduced us to him. More on that in a minute. This was honestly the best way to introduce the main villain of the show, Harley Morgenthau, who weirdly enough is the first original villain for the MCU. Notice how I put quotes there? She's not really original. In fact, she's actually gender swapped from the comics. And also age differenced. In the comics, he's a guy named Carl Morgenthau, and he's in his mid-40s, so yeah, I do not blame Marvel for gender swapping and also de-aging a character. Honestly, that's all I gotta say about this episode. I give it another 7.5 out of 10. Release the Zemo cut! Thank you very much! I had to get that joke out of the way because, to be honest, this was probably my episode of the series. To be completely honest, most of this episode was forgetful. Yeah, we got to learn more about Zemo, and we also saw what the hell Sharon Carter was doing the whole time, and we also learned how the Flag Smashers got the Super Soldier Serum. I'm sorry that pauses in it. It took me a minute to remember. Like I said, this was kind of a forgettable episode. So what else am I forgetting? Don't blame me for looking at my script. Okay, yeah, and one of the members of the Dora Milaje shows up at the end. I'm sorry, this is kind of a forgetful episode. I don't like being negative about the MCU, but I remember this exists. So, clearly, it didn't hurt me then. It's not going to hurt me now when I give this episode my lowest on the entire series, a 6.5 out of 10. Now we're the complete opposite of the last episode. Because, holy crap, was this episode dark. I thought the beginning part was just a little bit slow, but the rest of it, oh god, it was at the perfect speed. And I kind of enjoyed Sam trying to talk to Carly, but John kept on interfering. I'm wondering if that's commentary on something, but I'm too stupid to figure that out. Although because of him interfering, it's kind of one of the many reasons why I hate John Walker. There was actually a few more 100 manys, but I don't want to lose my voice. And remember what I said earlier? It did introduce us to Battlestar, even though they barely introduced us to him. More on that in a minute. Well, here's the reason why they barely introduced him. He barely lived throughout the entire series. I'm just gonna let you know this right now, if you're very squeamish at the sight of blood, I recommend skipping to this part in the video, so consider this your trigger warning. In 3, 2, 1. Disney Plus moves High Fidelity and Love Victor to Hulu for being too adult for the service. Also Disney Plus. Disney Plus cancels Lizzie McGuire revival because the original creator wanted to make it more adult. Also Disney Plus. Disney Plus! The only service with no R-rated violent movies. Also Disney Plus. Disney, I love you, but you cannot say your streaming service is full of wholesome family content when one of your exclusive shows for the service includes a guy dressed up as Captain America freaking murdering someone with the shield and then showing the blood on said shield. For crying out loud, Deadpool wasn't even this violent, and he killed somebody with a Zamboni.
You're about to be killed by a Zamboni.
It's not like any other show that's available to be streamed on Disney Plus has severely messed up stuff like that.
Oh my lord, she's dead!
How about instead I shuffle the functions of every hole in your face?
I just need to...
Are you okay? All in all, still the best episode of the season, so, oh yeah. This gets possibly my highest rating so far. I give this episode an 8.75 out of 10. Despite how dark it was still way better than the last episode. I'm sorry, episode 3 is very forgetful. I don't remember what it was about. Yeah, I gotta be honest, unlike the last episode, this episode was a much-needed palate cleanser. Sort of like drinking a tall glass of milk after eating a plate of ridiculously hot wings covering the world's spiciest hot sauce because your friend was crazy enough to make it for you. To be completely honest, was anybody surprised that John got fired from Captain America? I mean, once you kill somebody and there's multiple video evidences of you doing so, it's kind of hard to come back from that. There wasn't a lot of action outside the first bit of the episode, but honestly, this was one of those cases where I was more than okay with it. Also, Elaine?
Well, these boots are not made for walking.
You know, I'm not complaining. I freaking stand Julia Louis-Dreyfus. This honestly just proves that literally anybody in Hollywood can be in the MCU now. Suddenly that explains why Owen Wilson's in Loki. That's pretty much all I gotta say. Because I really want to get into the last episode. I give this episode a 7.5 out of 10, but that's mainly because this episode really did feel like a setup for... Oh, yeah, this episode was satisfying. Left and right action scenes. Bucky finally finishes that list I honestly forgot about from episode 1. John Walker finally acting like a hero and not killing people because, ooh, edgy. Isaiah Bradley gets the recognition he rightfully deserves. And, of course, we cannot forget the big one. Now that's a Captain America kids can look up to. Well, another one. Just this one's not the guy from Knives Out, it's the guy from Pain and Gain who is in my least favorite Wahlberg and the future president. The only downside to the episode, I'm gonna be completely honest, this reveal of Power Broker kind of pissed me off. Who's been messing up everything? It was Sharon Carter all along. It was satisfying, sure had a low point, but it was satisfying. I give it an 8.5 out of 10. I might have had too many expectations for this show. I'm not saying the show was bad, oh no, it was a really great show, but I had way too high of expectations. Some of them were delivered, but honestly, I should have known not to have high expectations when coming into stuff like this, because remember, these MCU shows are kind of an experiment in a way. But, you know, an experiment that actually is working compared to the other shows that claim to be in the MCU only for them to be retconned. Seriously, remember when the Netflix shows were supposed to be in the MCU? Remember when the Hulu show was supposed to be in the MCU? Remember when the Freeform show was supposed to be in the MCU? Remember when the ABC shows were supposed to be in the MCU? You know what I'm trying to say. Those were more experiments. These are more the real deal. So I don't know why I called it an experiment to begin with. This was a really confusing script, I'm sorry. Gotta be honest, out of all the MCU shows that are out on Disney Plus right now, aka the 2 shows that are out before June 9, 2021, I gotta say, this is ranking second on my list of favorite MCU shows. WandaVision is still high up there, but that's because WandaVision had me wanting more because of the mystery box element. I wanted answers and stuff. Here, yeah, I want answers, but there's not that big mystery element. But I will say the main storylines for Sam and Bucky were written amazingly well. Then again, this is coming from someone that half-ass on the script every time he makes an episode of Xander Disney. Mainly with Sam's struggles with the shields and how much responsibility it carries. Then again, there is a reason Steve gave him the shield to begin with. And yeah, it really was no surprise Sam took up the Captain America name at the end of the series, mainly because he did become Captain America in the comics. And of course, Steve gave it to him in both Avengers Endgame as well as in the comics. And yes, it really does come to no surprise when Disney announced this. Because why would they not? And now for a little postscript to what I just said, as you can tell with the different shirt and the not so visible facial hair on my face. Usually I shave before I film this stuff, but this is the last minute I decided to just do this anyway. Mainly because this past Wednesday, specifically June 2nd, 2021, Disney live streamed a opening ceremony celebration for Avengers Campus opening now at Disney's California Adventure Park. Which, unfortunately, I cannot go to Avengers Campus right now due to the fact that, 1, I don't have the money to go to Disneyland right now. That's mainly the more important reason. 2, they're not really allowing non-California residents to go to Disneyland right now. Probably the best, but, you know, midway through this month, they're going to allow them into the park. But also, I haven't gotten my second dose of the vaccine yet as of recording this part. Plus also, fourth reason, I really have no plans to travel this year, so. But during the opening celebration, Anthony Mackie was there, and well, I think you already know what I'm about to show you.
It is my honor to introduce, for the first time in Avengers Campus, Captain America.
They're pretty much proving that Avengers Campus is not going to follow the MCU timeline. I mean, that's going to be kind of hard when Black Widow and Iron Man are there. And specifically, Black Panther, depending on how Black Panther 2 turns out. And now, back to footage that actually was scripted. But I will say this, I kind of wish Marvel gave us more time between this and WandaVision. Came out 2 weeks after WandaVision, or a week after the Marvel Assembled special on Disney+. Many of us were still digesting the plot of WandaVision by then, and we were just being thrown into another one. I'm not saying that's bad, but it just felt like we were not given enough time in between. I think Marvel's initial plan for 2021 was to have WandaVision come out in January, then give a 2-week break, release Falcon Winter Soldier, give that a 2-week break, release Black Widow, give that a month-long break so everybody can go see Black Widow in theaters, and then release Loki onto Disney+. But then again, this was before Black Widow got delayed another 2 months and then slapped with a premiere access fee of $30, even though most of us are getting these things, so why bother adding the $30 fee? Seriously, Black Widow is really the reason why I'm getting vaccinated. I know it sounds stupid and kind of selfish, but do you blame me for not paying $30 to see it on Disney+? I thought the premiere access fee was kind of stupid with Mulan, and I still stand by that statement to this day. Even with Cruella and Raya Last Dragon, because they're going to release it for free in 3 months, so why bother? Also, one of those people that really do believe movies deserve to be on the big screen. So, yeah. Do with that information you will. So yes, I do agree with Tom Hanks. Then again, in what world do I not agree with Tom Hanks? But I should probably mention this, Black Widow is not the only reason that I'm getting the vaccine. Getting vaccinated, it's because I want this pandemic to be over sooner than later. Karen! But while I wish there was more time to breathe in between WandaVision and Falcon Winter Soldier, I still enjoyed Falcon Winter Soldier. But all in all, I enjoyed the series through and through. I give the entire series a 7.75 out of 10. Will I do this again for Loki? Probably not, only because I want to focus on the shows that are already guaranteed to be miniseries, and not a show that's already guaranteed to have a second season. Honestly, with Loki, I just want to watch it and not critique it. So yes, I will be doing the Hawkeye series, and possibly Miss Marvel if that's not a miniseries. But tell me what you think about the Falcon Winter Soldier in the comments below, or on my Twitter and Instagram at ZarenTheBoss. And before I go, I should probably mention this right now. I'm going to be taking July off from making a new Xander Talks Disney video, because if you guys can follow me on my socials, you probably seen that I was having a hard time making this episode a thing, to the point where I delayed it from the May release to a early June release. I'm sorry. So I'm just going to take July off, focus more on making new videos, but don't worry, I'm going to be releasing a Xander Talks Over commentary or two, and possibly an update video as well. For all we know, I might finally do a studio tour. Who knows? So until August, I'll see you real soon.
When Captain America throws his mighty shield, all those who chose to oppose his shield must yield. If he's led to a fight and a duel is due, then the red and the white and the blue will come through when Captain America throws his mighty shield.